Hello, and welcome back to the World Class Battle League channel. And we're back for another evergrande interview, this time with Pure Awesome Gaming and the coach of the Dallas Keldeos.
Hello.
Hello, thank you for being here for an interview.
No problem. I like interviews.
Yeah. Uh, I just woke up, by the way, so
That's fine.
yeah. Gotta stay up till 4 in the morning, wake up at 3 in the afternoon. Sounds like fun. Anyway, hopping straight into the first question. How long have you been playing Pokemon?
Um, just in general or draft league?
The second question's about Draft League, but general and then
Okay.
like competitive and stuff like that.
Okay. So, when I was little, around like 7, 8 years old, my younger sister did dance classes. She's been doing dance classes her whole life, and so I would be bored to death. So the only people to play with were the other kids waiting for their siblings in the lobby. And so one of the kids had Pokemon cards. And so he let me borrow them one time and battle against him. So like my first experience was like the cards. I'm like, wow, this is really cool. I need to go out. I need to get card packs. I need to do all this stuff. Like, what is this? I'd never heard of it before. And I was just immediately brought in. And then, so I bought a couple card packs, realized there was video games. I believe my first game was Diamond.
Ooh,
It was either Diamond or Fire Red. I'm almost 100% sure it was Diamond because I bought one and then I bought the other immediately afterward. And so played through Diamond, still my favorite Pokemon game to this day. And I jumped into it so fast. It was Pokemon's still awesome.
yeah, like the TCG when I was little, I was just like, I don't know how to play this, but it sounds fun. I remember,
Right. We would scrap the whole energy thing because none of
yeah,
us understood it, and we just keep using like the most powerful attacks, like screw energies.
yeah, that's how it was. And I remember in first grade, um, I brought my Pokemon cards to school, and my teacher took them away and never got them back. Pretty sure I had like a Gengar or something. I was just so heartbroken. Anyways, so how long have you been playing competitive then?
For about a month because
Late?
so I've been I've been watching like Pokemon YouTubers
Yeah.
for probably close around a year now. Um and then I believe it was through Duncan, I believe. I've been subscribed to him for a long time. He did the GBA, and so I'm like, "Oh, what is this?" That kind of introduced me to Draft League, and then I jumped from GBA to NPA and just following them and watching them, and I'm like, "Wow, this is really cool. You can actually play this like competitively instead of playing it just for fun."
Yeah.
Um so so I was thinking like, how can I get in on this? And I've been thinking for a long time, and my original thought was like, oh, you just have to make a YouTube channel, make Pokemon content, and then eventually you'll just get picked out of thin air. That's what I originally thought until somebody in a YouTube video mentioned Discord. You know, like that's an easy way to get found. So I was like, okay, cool. So I downloaded Discord. This was about 2 or 3 months ago.
Yeah.
Didn't really do a whole lot until I waited for an opening to pop up, and it was actually this league that was the first opening.
Yeah.
Joined this. Another league needed an analyst to do power rankings, so I did that because the power rankings league ends sometime in January. I believe it's late January,
Yeah.
and this league starts in January. It's like, oh, perfect! I can do like a power ranking thing that ends and then WCBL begins. And then somebody went into on the GBA other leagues chat
Yeah.
and was asking for a replacement. He needed a replacement really bad. And the power rankings thing takes me like 20 minutes every Sunday. So I was like,
Yeah.
okay, I can balance this. And then I joined that league. So that league runs through February, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
And those are my first like actual league battles. I'm not doing so great, but
I
I
mean,
don't want to use the excuse that I'm new, but it just kind of breaking me into
yeah.
it.
I mean, WCBL does start in February because Teeny has to move, people have to move, and February seemed like the best time for everyone. Yeah, but I remember when
And
oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say that like wait, I guess also waiting for that league to end because not only am I in it, but you and Zone are also in it.
I'm a nice Sunbirds fan. Yeah, but I remember in my first league, I went what 7-8 minus 6, and I barely missed out on playoffs. Um, the person that actually made playoffs that was above me had was 7-8 minus 3, so I missed out on a 3 differential, which kind of sucked. But my team was
I mean,
garbage.
still, it's pretty good. That's pretty good,
Yeah, my team was
at
pretty
least from my
garbage.
perspective.
My draft there was like 5 electric types. And I was just like,
Oh,
yo, electric types, they're cool. um, Next question. What's your favorite playstyle and why?
so you're talking like hyper offense, bulky
Yeah,
offense, stuff like that.
yeah, stuff like that.
Um, I I feel like I heavily lean toward hyper offense because that's the way I play on Showdown, when I play OU. But I feel like when it comes to draft league, that doesn't work entirely well. So I'm trying to draw myself a little bit bulkier and away from like the 252 attack, 252 speed spreads.
Yeah,
um, it's a little hard because that's what I've been doing for close on a year now.
I mean, yeah,
Since I started doing like YouTube and everything like that. So I'm so used to playing hyper offense, and I'm trying to draw myself away, but my like what I'm used to and what I'm comfortable with is hyper offense. Just max attack, max speed, and just roll in there.
yeah. I mean, it took me 2 years to figure out what do I like the most. Like, I would go from I had hyper offensive teams, and I did decently with those. I had fucking stall teams, I think, and I did decently with those. And I figured out my playstyle was like balance. So, next question. What is your favorite Pokemon, casually and competitively, and why?
So casually it's like a three-way tie. It is Swinub, because its Pokedex entry is me. Um, Deoxys because Deoxys is like the best design, and then uh Miss Magius. Like Miss Magius was such a huge part of my original Diamond playthrough, like my first game. So I remember Miss Magius, and I didn't use Torterra very much because it was by far the worst starter. I picked it because I thought Turtwig was cool, but Miss Magius ended up doing a huge part. Yes, and going back to Swinub, its Pokedex entry is like it sleeps and eats and then occasionally finds warm springs. Like sleeps in, well, I guess not really eats for me cuz I don't eat particularly much, but like sleeping, yes. Just not really doing a whole lot. I feel like I feel like I have a lot of free time and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
yeah, I love Swinub because of its Pokedex entry, and it's also it's weird for a guy to say this, but it's one of the cutest, like most adorable looking Pokemon. So Swinub and then Deoxys for design and Miss Magius because of nostalgia.
yeah,
And then competitively, Hydreigon. I love Hydreigon because give it either choice item, either Scarf or Specs, it can tear through teams. It doesn't have a terrible speed, but it doesn't have a great one either. And it's I feel like it's really really good, especially on hyper offensive teams because it gets U-turns. So like you can U-turn out of your choice, and then come back in later and just fire off another super powerful attack.
yeah. And even choice band works on Hydreigon. It has a manageable attack stat.
Right, but a lot of it's attacking moves. Like, if you don't want to get locked into Outrage, your other option is Dragon Rush, which has 75 accuracy. Stone Edge is a nice coverage move, but it again has 80 accuracy. Um, so the physical side of Hydreigon, I feel like could use a bit more accuracy, which is why like special is
Yeah,
which is why I mentioned Choice Specs over Choice Band.
yeah. I
But
mean,
yeah, you can run it. You can run it physical, but I feel like special is just way better.
yeah, that's pretty true. What is your favorite type? So like fire, water, grass, that stuff.
You cut out for a second.
Oh, oh. What is your favorite Pokemon type and why? Am I cutting out?
Wait, you cut out?
Oh my. What is your favorite type and why?
Oh, dark because early on psychic was like really good. Like I played Gen 4 first and then went back and played Gen 3 and psychic was super prevalent in Gen 3. Like all the best mons were psychic. So dark is just the easiest way to beat that, and I think that dark types have the coolest, like overall have the coolest designs. Um like I would have them slightly edge out psychics.
Um,
Because definitely Hydreigon, Absol, Umbreon, like they all have really good designs. So yeah.
if you ever play Gen 1, psychic types are unstoppable.
Yes. I I downloaded an emulator not a while back and played Gen 2, and psychics were still relatively broken.
Yeah.
I do have Gen 1 downloaded, but I haven't played it yet. I just haven't gotten around to it.
I remember I nuzlocked Red. I'm pretty sure it got a Mewtwo. Or I got a Psychic type. And I literally ran through the Elite Four with it. Basically. It was so broken.
Because in Gen 1, psychic is immune to ghost, correct?
No. Like, the only thing the Psychic had. Like, the only things I could beat Psychic were Ghost and Bug. And, like, was terrible in that gen.
Okay, yeah.
And then your only Ghost was, like, Gengar. So.
I read somewhere that it was like only it might be a different game, but I read that it was Red and Blue that Psychic was originally immune to Ghost, so its only weakness was Bug.
Well, Psychic's weaknesses are phobias. Because Psychic, the mind, scared of ghosts, bugs, the
And
darkness. Yeah.
darkness.
Which I thought was pretty cool.
Maybe I'm just misinformed, but I heard that somewhere.
Yeah,
And like I said, I haven't played it, so I can't say for sure.
yeah. Anyways, you already answered. I'm pretty sure you already answered this in a previous question. What was your favorite generation?
Generation 4, just because of the designs. Generation 3 is close second, but Generation 4 just because of the designs.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, Generation 4 was pretty cool. Gotta love Gen 2 for, like, the walking Pokemon. That was lit when I was a kid. I was just like, yo! Pokemon walk behind me! Anyways. I don't know if you really know stuff about this yet, since you're sort of new to Draft League. But what do you think is essential to Draft League success?
Um, I think having a mon that you can bring that is a that can clearly be a win condition, no matter who you're going against. So like wall breakers, like
Yeah.
Cortana and Salamence are huge ones. Like Salamence, you can run bulky with like Wish and stuff, but you can also run it D-Dance. So like having something that game in game out can be a huge win condition, something that your opponent always has to prep for, and even when they've prepped for it they still feel nervous about it. That I think that type of mon is essential because it causes your opponent almost to over prep for it because it's so dangerous, and you can manipulate that kind of as you will. Like if you want to bring it and just kill their answers to it, or do you want to get them to overpredict and then not bring it? I feel like that's huge.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, the thing about, like, those Pokemon is you usually know what they're going to do because they're the higher tier mons, so you can't bring as many attacks, but they're still very, very scary.
Right, and that's where when it comes to like having more than one, like I understand that there's only a certain number of like tier 1 picks, but there are even some tier 2 picks that can be so threatening like that. And definitely certain megas can be as well. So picking up two, like three would be awesome, but having two just sound mons that game in, game out can cause fear because they're dangerous and can win you the game.
I mean, there's still stuff like that in tier 4, tier 5. There's like Moon, um, stuff like that.
But those mons normally require a bit more of setup, which require extra turns and stuff. So it's a little bit more dangerous.
I mean,
But
prepping for Linoon is hell. I can tell you this.
I haven't had to face one yet, so I can't really answer that. But I can definitely see that, like it being only weak to one type.
Yeah, and then
being so fast.
+6. Anyways, what do you like better, Megas or Z moves?
Megas, absolutely. Z moves, I feel like once you've narrowed it down to a Z captain, you pretty much know what they're gonna do. And Z move is just a higher powered move, so like you can prep and put certain bulk in things for it. But like when it comes to megas, Mega Alakazam is definitely one. Mega Zard X or Y. Just most megas. It doesn't matter how much bulk you put into it. You're gonna get either 2-hit KO'd or OHKO'd.
Yeah.
Plus, there's a lot of mons that I feel like could use megas that don't that have megas. So I just love megas a ton more.
Flygon.
There's two. Flygon is a huge one. They answered us a little bit by giving it Dragon Dance,
Yeah.
but it basically just puts it on par with Garchomp after that.
Yeah, I mean, Garchomp's tier 1, Flygon's tier 3, so I still think Flygon's better because it's the more value pick, but yeah. You might want to open the WCBL doc for this question, because the next question is, what do you think is the best budget Pokemon and why? So, like, a Steel. So, like...
Okay, so let me go to the doc real quick.
Yeah.
You can still hear me, right, if I go to Sheets?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. So let's see, budget. So we're gonna go tier 3 or lower, or tier 4?
Well, lower? Anything you think that should be in a higher tier, basically.
Oh, a while back, I vouched for what was it? I vouched for something to go from tier 4 to tier 3.
I think it was it was either Cecil or Toxicroak.
Toxicroak, I voted to go down because it's extremely frail, and its base stats are not that good, and I value base stats a ton when it comes to selecting mons.
Yeah.
So like the first thing I look at is base stats.
Yeah.
And Toxicroak doesn't have the best base stats. Like I believe it has like 109 attack or 109 speed, and the other one's like 100. So like it's good, but it's not good compared to everything else.
Yeah. You said it was Sneasel that should move up.
Sneasel, yes. So Sneasel, like you can run a Violite. Like, I understand that Sneasel is fairly frail, but a Violite does let it live some hits. It has a really nice speed stat, so that you're outspeeding stuff like Salamence. I believe you also outspeed Dragonite. Like, the only flying dragon you don't outspeed, I think, is Noivern. But yeah, so you can run it bulky, yet you can also run it banded and get pretty much like a better attack stat than Weavile. And the difference between Sneasel and Weavile is minus 10 speed, which going from 125 to 115, it's not. I don't think it's that much of a drop off. So like
Yeah.
getting a 115 Mon that you can band and it does hecka damage, with like icicle crash and stuff like that. Also, like ice just in general is an amazing offensive typing. And then like you can run a Violite to live like a certain hit or something like that, and then fire off an attack for the KO. But yeah, Sneasel can surprisingly live some hits and is really, really good at like attacking. Like it's a nice budget for a hyper offense team because you get ice and dark, which is two amazing offensive types. Like I said earlier, dark beats psychic, and psychic is super prevalent. Like psychic is something you should always fear. Because there's always like I feel like there's a lot of good draft league psychic types. So Sneasel's just a great answer to those, and also having ice is a great answer to all the dragon types.
Yeah, definitely. Like Dragonfire is still really scary from like the fairies. Next question. Have you ever ran an unconventional set? So like a tech. Like Spectrum Ransing with Slab Manaphy.
Um,
Well,
so far yet no, but I've only 4 league matches. So I mean, if you count Wish Protect Salamence, then if you consider that, then yeah, I've ran Wish Protect Salamence. I really enjoyed that set.
yeah, then I guess that counts. That would be because the question was, what is your favorite unconventional set you've used? So
Yeah, so definitely Wish Protect Salamence because Salamence has don't quote me on this, but it's like 70, 80, 80 bulk. Like it might I might be 5 off or 10 off in a certain direction, but I believe it's like 70, 80, 80 bulk. It's not that bad, and with a monstrous 135 attack stat, you can put 0 attack investment, give it Dragon Claw, and it can still do decent damage, and yet you put everything into bulk, and then you have a nice wish protect, and then obviously switches have priority, so you can just wish stuff up.
yeah, definitely.
By the way, going back, like thinking about Wish Protect Salamence, I think that was against you that I ran Wish Protect Salamence.
I believe so. Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was our game. Like the game where Halucha almost won.
Oh, and then sadly enough, it got put to sleep with Lilligant Sleep Powder.
Yeah, because Lilligant was actually like the goat that game, putting the threatening mons to sleep. Uh, you've been in one league so far. Did
Yeah.
you have
Well,
a
more like a half.
uh? Do you prefer to have a plan for a draft or just wing it? So, do you have a plan for WCBL yet?
I have a general overview of what I want to do. So, like, I don't have specific mons picked out because I feel like if I have specific mons and I get sniped, like, I'll be instantly on the back foot, like, no idea what to do.
Yeah.
So, like, I think just a general overview, like, okay, I want this type of this mon. I want, like, do I want a fast electric or do I want to spend like a tier 1 on like a bulky water or something like that? Like I have that general idea planned out, but I don't per se have like specific mons like okay, I want this and this because I feel like that leads to getting sniped super easy.
I mean, a lot of people do that, but they have to figure out backups if they're sniped.
Right, and but if there's certain like obviously missing out on a mon, like there isn't another mon that sort of uh I guess does everything that that mon does. Like going to the Garchomp Flygon example, Flygon is an easy substitute if Garchomp gets sniped, but like we said, it has to D-dance first to get to Garchomp's level. So you is there backups? Yes, but they're backups. Like they're worse than the original. So
Yeah. I mean, that is true, but I remember back in season 2, I got sniped 15 times. It was because I had like 10 plans going in, because I was like ninth pick. So, anyways, you don't really know many people here, so I guess that would be the last question.
I mean, as far as knowing people, like you and Zone are about it.
Yeah, so how do you feel about your odds, this season?
um, well, on my channel when I was covering the league that I'm in right now, because it's my first league, I said that all I wanted was one win because it means that I did something right. I've already WCBL. I want to try and go for 2 wins. So like I want to slowly get better and better and better. Like
Yeah, baby
obviously
steps.
I haven't been playing for very long, so I don't want to set super high expectations, but like also I need to at least try. So I don't put my odds very high, but I would bet against me being the last place team.
I mean, we not being an asshole, but we do have a guy, so not trying to call him out and being an asshole, but we don't have the best best of the best coaches. I mean, we have Antoine, we have Killua, we have me, and like, but Indigo has all the tier 1 sweats. So yeah. Anyways,
Does Indigo have zone?
Indigo doesn't have zone. We have zone.
Okay. All right.
Anyways, thank you for joining me for this interview. It was
Yeah, no
fun.
problem.
I hope you have some luck in your WCBL season. And
I'm certainly gonna try.
yeah, I mean, that's all you can do is try. Try your hardest, and you will have good results. Hopefully. Anyways,
Okay.
that's the end of the interview. Peace.